Hi, fellow traders. What's happening? I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I know I am, enjoying every minute of it. But we're going to do this video here to kind of wrap up last week, tie everything together, the day trading, swing trading, all that good stuff. But first, I want to share this thought with you because, having an indestructible mindset, developing that mindset is critical to your success as a trader. And it's not just about having perseverance or being resilient and just having that no quit attitude. Is bigger than that. It's about having the right awareness. It's about having the right focus and understanding that where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you focus on what your intentions are instead of the negative thoughts, that's where all your energy is going to go. If you focus on your negative thoughts, that's going to cause you to make self-destructive decisions. It's going to cause you to come up with all these excuses as to why you need to stop or why you need to quit, and will derail your success. Having that indestructible mindset helps you understand that this is just a temporary thing, and all you need to do is hit the switch. So think of our minds as a circuit breaker, an electric circuit breaker. When a circuit breaker gets overloaded, too much current gets through and it gets hot, it trips. And it's designed to protect whatever the electrical circuits, the rest of the components in that circuit. Our brain overloads and trips. And sometimes it's really there to protect us from ourselves. But what we have to do is hit that reset button. We got to flip the switch back. And if our minds are indestructible, then when we flip the switch, it's going to stick. But if it's not, if we have a destructible mindset and we have a defeatist mindset, every time we flip that switch, it's going to trip again. We flip it on, it trips again. And it'll never stay on because our minds are not indestructible. So we have to develop that mindset. And that's why I focused the session on building that mindset, because that's why it's important. Everything that I give you in this roadmap to success is critical for your development as a trader. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to ever feed you a bunch of crap just to try to make you feel good. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need. And really, it's up to you to decide whether you're going to do what it takes or you're going to try to find shortcuts and hope for the best. So I'm telling you, you have to have that indestructible mindset so that you're not thinking of ways to sabotage yourself or to quit every time you deal with this. And the reason why I'm bringing this up today, Friday, my first trade out of the gate, I had a huge loss. And I could have easily folded up. I could have easily come unglued. That switch could have tripped. And it never would have worked again. But that indestructible mindset that I developed, it helped me bring things around. Even, I don't really have a problem with taking a loss, but I have a problem with missing big winners. That's where my breaker gets a little bit too hot to switch back immediately. I have to cool it off before I switch it back. But regardless, my breaker is indestructible. At this point, it is. Very little is going to happen that's going to break me to where I can't function anymore. And that's where you have to be. And remember, even having a big win, just like you have a big loss, a lot of times when you have a big win, you overload your mindset with all of these thoughts, and you trip it, and it causes you to just fall apart. So whether it's a big win or big loss, you have to make sure that you have the right mindset going into this. All right, so let's take a look at the market last week. Last week this time, I was looking for the market to hit all-time highs this week. And, Tuesday, I thought, hey, maybe that's it. But then again, it could be a bear trap. And sure enough, it was a really nice bear trap they set Tuesday, first part of Wednesday. And then after we made it out Wednesday and we closed at the high, I thought we were going to make all-time highs on Thursday. I really did. I just knew my thesis was going to be proved correct. But Thursday and Friday were really sad days. Not much there. Not much direction. But we are still above the 5-day moving average. We're above all of the other moving averages. So technically, the opportunity is still there to make it. It's just that the confidence I have that it's going to do that is not as strong as it was on last Sunday. Technically, we're still in play. But as long as this is taken, I'm very disappointed in the Bulls and their inability to push this thing up. But we're going to keep an eye on it this week. Where it opens at 8 o'clock tonight, where it's at around 1 o'clock this morning, a lot of that's going to give me an idea of how the market is digesting this weekend. Not a whole lot's happened other than the post office. I'm not going to even go there. But we'll see how all of this stuff shakes out and how the market starts digesting it when trading picks up on the SPY here at 8 o'clock tonight. All right, so on Friday, BA, this wasn't a bad trade. This was a good trade. I wasn't in BA or looking at it through this move here. This was a nice secondary move. We had to pull back, and I was waiting to get in once we broke the channel. On days like Friday, I'm going to stay out of trading inside channels. It's, to me, it really doesn't make sense until you get later on in the day. Maybe you've got a nice channel that you can trade in late in the day that makes sense. But early in the day, with the volatility still pretty high, I'm not going to trust it. So I waited patiently until we got out of the channel. I got it on the break. And we talked about this at least an hour. I guess when it was here, we were talking about it, waiting for it to break. But it pulled back some more and eventually broke. And this was the entry. Made it up to my first target and kind of ran up a little bit. Put in the top of the channel and then came back. Ended up having to stop out break even. So here was another entry that I could have taken if I was still engaged with this at the break. It was coming back into this channel. And remember, we're later on in the day, we're after lunch, and we had well over $1 potential within this channel. So the risk reward was good. And you could have bought it on the break or could have got it here once it confirmed. And eventually we did sell off, but eventually it made it all the way up to the on top of the channel. It never claimed it, which is what we were looking for another move. Never did claim it. So no more trades on it. But I was really happy with the fact that I was patient, waited, traded just the move I wanted. Just didn't get the follow through. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now, here, this is NVAX from Thursday. The reason why I bring this up is because part of the issue, well, most of the issue on Friday stemmed from what happened on this trade. All right, remember, I told you what kills me is missing out on the big winning trades, especially when I'm right there. So in this case, you saw I got in, got my first target. Well, really, this wasn't my first target. It started to wash or sell off. I kept seeing the resistance there. So I took it at the shortest profit target I could, which was 134.50. That's still over a point above my entry, which was the minimum I would take. So I got it. It came back, stopped me out at break even. It pulled back a little bit, and then it ripped. And yeah, I missed the entry on this. So I brought this into Friday. And what happened was I got in on I was determined to be conservative. So I waited for the candle to close below the opening range low. And I was waiting for this to trade lower. Now, it did trade lower by like 1 or 2 cents, but I did not intend on entering. What I did, I moved my cursor over my button, my hot button. And, as a matter of fact, I'm sitting here now and my leg is shaking. So I've got that shaking leg syndrome. And I get nervous twitches. And when I put it over there, my nerve it twitched, and I got in the trade. And immediately when I got in, I said it. No, I don't want to, this is not it. I didn't want to get in. It didn't trigger me. It was that nervous twitch I get sometimes. But I was in, so I said I'd wait it out. And so as it came up, this is when I started thinking about the day before. I'm like, this is exactly what it did the day before. We made a move down. It didn't quite get to where it needed to be. It bounced. And then it started to come back and it made the move. So I'm waiting for it to come back and make the move. It didn't, obviously. We never closed back below the opening range low. This candle opened and ripped up. And so I didn't have any choice but to take it off. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see. I got in at 137.62. I got out at 142.78. 5-point loss. A 5-point loss with 300 shares, $1,500. So I didn't have to look at my P&L. I wasn't paying attention to it. I was down $1,500. All because I brought that baggage in from the day before when it came up, it pulled back, and then, it ripped. I was thinking we were going to get that same sell-off. It was going to bounce and then come back and sell. I didn't get it. So instead of, really coming unglued, I was able to flip the switch and say, okay, look, let's focus, let's pay attention. Here's an opportunity to, make a decent trade. And I wasn't thinking about trying to make the money back. It was all about, let's take a decent trade, stick to your trade plan, and lay down a good foundational trade. So here we closed above the opening range high, which was right here. And then this candle confirmed it. As soon as it did, I got in. We had a little pullback here, but then it ripped, took it off, took some off at the pre-market high according to plan. Here was the final target. I took some halfway off here. And right here was a fortunate mistake because I was looking to put in my stop and accidentally sent out a market order here, and it took it, and it happens sometimes, but it seemed to be the right thing because it didn't quite get to 151.20. We got to like 151 and it turned around and came back. So it's at the top of this channel. So it pulled back, and I was waiting for an entry if it broke the top here. So going into lunch, we had two watches. The secondary trade on BA, and I was looking for the secondary trade on MVAX. I mean, you could see the volume was still killer at that point. So why not keep looking? And so we got the pullback, never did break the high, and it sold back off, kind of messed around. And then late in the day, then we still had the same stocks up, and I'm like, this is a nice 1 point move from here to VWAP. And then we've got a nice move from VWAP back up to the bottom of this channel, and then from there all the way up to the pre-market high again. So I'm like, this has some nice windows of opportunity. And this is what I put out in chat. And for some reason, though, it didn't hit my target on the first push. It pulled back and then, hit my target. So I'm thankful, because if it had hit my target and pulled back, it would have stopped me out at break even, and I would have missed this next run up. So, really nice bullish pattern here. I got out on the VWAP, and then I got out up here on this channel, but then it put in this wicked candle. And watching the price action, I felt there was too much indecision, that the sellers may be exhausted, and so the buyers may be exhausted, so I just dumped it, and turned out to be the right move. But traded, after this mess up, I think I traded very well the rest of the day, and it's all a compliment of my indestructible mindset, what I call it, indestructible mindset. Some people call it an armored mind, or whatever, but that's the mindset that I'm trying to get you guys to develop. This roadmap to success is no joke. It's only as good as you commit to it. I'm here. I donate. Contrary to popular belief, when you pay your money, you're not paying me for classes. You're not paying me to do mentoring. You're basically paying the expenses of the chat room that you join, because I have to pay for the platform that's more expensive than what I had the last several years, but it's worth it. I have to pay for the platform to store the videos. There's expenses that go along with managing the room. That's where the money goes. I donate my time making the classes. I donate my time doing mentoring. All right, this is what I give. So I am giving. All you guys, you just have to put more skin in the game. Put more skin in the game. You already are investing in your education by being a member. So let's put some more sweat equity in, because I sure as hell am. And I'm here. All right, so that's that. Let's see where we're at. Oh, we finished 123.38. So started after the first trade down over $1,500, and no, I wasn't watching my P&L. I can do math. $5 loss on a 300 share position is $1,500. Real simple. But not the best day, but I am sure as hell glad I didn't have to eat that, because that would have ensured me of 2 red weeks in a row. The first week in August started out strong, but that summertime lull just kind of came in, and I just couldn't seem to get anything going. So ended up red $19.80 last week. But this week, really, really good week, with the exception of a day or two. So 1086.25, again, not what I'm looking for. I do have projections. They're not goals. I'm not sitting there monitoring a goal trying to hit it. If I hit it, great. If I do go above it, great. If I get lower than it, great. You know, we just look at what I do from week to week. If I can make an improvement, if there's something I did wrong or whatever, I can fix it. But I'm looking at around, at a minimum, $2,500 a week during the summer. Trading, the size that I'm trading. And I'm trading smaller size. But still would expect that. On a good week, 4 to 5 grand. So I'm still waiting for the market to come back around. We need more afternoon trades to come in for us to really make money. But that's where we're at right now. Just over $1,000 last week and for the month. So I need to have 2 strong weeks coming in here. All right, now you see the equity curve. It's going back in the right direction. We had a little hiccup here. You can see we had some pullbacks as we were moving up. A couple of weeks, you see the red arrows when we went down. So 2 weeks in a row here, 2 weeks in a row here. Didn't want to make it another 2 weeks. All right, so swing trades. AMAT, this was a post-earnings swing. It hasn't really made it up to my final target, but it is setting up again for our 52-week high swing strategy. If it does set up for that, I will add back to it, and the swing will become a 52-week high swing. So a lot of times you do get a chance to merge strategies, and that's what we're doing here, or we're looking to do here if it works. So nice move on that. The second one, Chewy, is what we got in on Thursday. I know Thursday's a little late for me getting in on swing trades, but I really felt this could have a really good move. We had the 20 cross on Wednesday. Nice gap up on Thursday. And you can see Friday was just a dud. Low volume, no drive. So when the volume comes back tomorrow, maybe we get this thing to turn around and push up toward a 52-week high. That'll be my first target up there. So expecting big things out of it. So that wraps it up. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We're going to get back at this thing bright and early Monday morning and see if we can make it a great week. So guys, listen to me. You join the community to learn from me. Don't try, just listen and understand what I'm doing, what my thought process is. It works. And once you get it down, then go out and start adding your own twist to it. Because you're always going to have a foundation that you can come back to. But if you go too far left, you overload your mind, your circuits are going to start tripping. And if you don't have that foundation, you're going to have weak circuits. And you're not going to be able to flip the switch once it trips. So you guys have a great weekend, rest of the weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow.